One of my subscribers recently commented that they ran 2 marathons this year, but he was 78. 78, you people inspire me. Hi, welcome to Ageless Runner. I'm Ralph. So I'm hoping when I'm 78, I can go out and run a couple of marathons. But what we need to do is we can keep running as long as we want. We know our bodies change as we get older, and that kind of starts maybe in our mid-30s. Some data suggests that we lose about 0.7% a year in our, we lose muscle mass, we lose VO2 max capability. So our bodies just get wear and tear and start to decline. Now, research suggests that that's pretty equal between men and women. So if you're a woman or you're a man, don't think that, you maybe have a disadvantage in growing older. You don't. We're pretty much equal in the sexes as far as that goes. But there's some things I think we can do to help prolong our running life, keep our bodies in good shape, keep them well tuned, and make sure we can run as long as we want. And I hope when I'm 78, I can go out and run 2 marathons. That would be awesome. Now my first suggestion, and I don't think I've ever read this in any running article or in any YouTube video I've seen, it just seems like common sense, and that is you need to be getting regular checkups with your doctor and tell them you're a runner. If you don't have that baseline of general health, if you're not getting regular checkups and maintaining yourself, nothing I'm going to tell you after this is going to help. So you need to get that general health, get that general maintenance, go see your doctor on whatever regular schedule they recommend. Now, assuming you're doing that, assuming you're seeing your doctor and getting regular checkups, I want to talk about 3 general areas. One is avoiding injury. One is looking at equipment modification as we get older, and one is the head games that happen to us as we get older and think about aging. So let's talk about minimizing injury, because an injury can eliminate a running life no matter what age you are, but we're especially vulnerable as we get older. Again, we lose muscle mass, we lose flexibility, and we're more prone to injury. So one of the first things we can do, I think, is you need to avoid overtraining, and that changes as we grow older. Overtraining can happen more easily, say at 78 or 68 than 48 or 58. So you need to be very sensitive to your body. And the big thing about avoiding overtraining is rest. And I have found in my running life, I didn't start running till just over 60. I'm now in my mid-60s. So in these past 5 or 6 years, I can tell I need more rest now than I did 6 years ago. So as you get older, you're going to need a lot more rest. I've said many times that I rarely run 2 days in a row. And when I do a long run, I try to wait about a day for every mile I've run before I do another long run. So I did a 10-mile run on Monday a couple of days ago. I'll probably wait, 9 or 10 days before I do another long run. So if you don't give yourself enough rest, if you overtrain, your body gets tired, your muscles get tired, and that's where you're more prone to having an injury. So rest is more important the older we get. Now, another thing we can do to avoid injury is practice good running form. And this is kind of a mental reminder. Those of you who have been running for years may think, I have good form. But kind of give yourself a little self-checkout when you're out there running. Is your head up? Are you running about 180 steps per minute for your cadence? Are your arms swinging forward? Are you leaning from the ankles? Just give yourself that good checkout, because a lot of injuries, and you always hear about runners that have injuries, often happens due to bad form. Maybe you lose your mental concentration, and pretty soon you're doing something wrong and you injure yourself. So practice good form and do kind of self-checkups as you're running. Now, I mentioned a couple times so far that we lose muscle mass as we get older. It's just biology. There's nothing we can to change that. There's nothing we can do to change that. However, we can fight that. We can try to maintain that muscle mass. And if you're not doing strength training now, you need to do some kind of weight-bearing exercise, whether you go to the gym and lift weights. I went to the gym this morning, did a very small, easy workout, or you just do body weight exercises like push-ups and pull-ups and things like that. Running uphill is very good strength training for your legs. You need to do some kind of strength training. And combined with that, because you want to build muscle, you need to get plenty of protein. I have a couple of videos on protein, but if you haven't seen those yet, the US RDA is 0.36 grams per pound of body weight that you should get a day, but that's a bare minimum. If you're older or if you're a runner, you need more. So you need to think about maybe even doubling that, getting closer to 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight. You need to maintain your muscle mass as you get older, and you're not going to do that unless you get sufficient protein. Now, last topic on avoiding injury is flexibility. And I will be the first to tell you I do no flexibility training at all, and I need to do that. But I want to tell you, and I'm telling myself, I'm going to do a little research and find some flexibility training. Maybe I'll do a future video on that. But you need to do that flexibility training because our joints stiffen up and they just just need to maintain that flexibility. It helps with your form, helps avoid that injury. Now, as we get older, we may see a need to change our equipment. By equipment, I'm talking a little bit about shoes. As we get older, our feet change, our muscles change, our joints change, and all that stuff changes. You might need different shoes. And when I mean different, I mean different specifications. Maybe you need more offset. Maybe you need less offset. Maybe your cushion needs to change. Maybe you need a more stable shoe. So don't be afraid if you start having some joint aches and pains to investigate different shoes. That may change as you get older. From when I started running 6 years ago to now, I've gradually come down the offset of my shoes. I find that's better, especially for my knees and my legs. That helps me. So you may need to make those changes. Don't think that, if you're 50, you're running in some shoe, that when you're 70, you're going to run in that same specification shoe. That may need to change. And think about other equipment. I added trekking poles to my equipment list this year for trail running, and I've not taken a spill at all in trail running. Falling can obviously cause an injury and could stop your running career. So think things like trekking poles. I always wear gloves when I run. It could be in the summertime. I may wear fingerless gloves or fairly light, but they protect my hands in case I do fall or do stumble, and just from the sun in general. So think about equipment you might need, even sunscreen. If you're not sunscreening before you go out and run, it's a mistake, especially as we get older. As we get older, we're more prone to skin cancers and things like that because our skin's a little thinner and a little more fragile, so sunscreen. But do think about those equipment needs to make you safer. If you run more at dusk and at night, make sure you're wearing bright colors or lights, those types of things. But think safety in your equipment. Think about how that may need to change as you get older. Now, last area I want to discuss a little bit is the mental things, the head games. Those voices in our head that says, you're getting older, you can't do this, what do you think you're doing? But so we need to fight those things. I kind of feel that way sometimes. I'm thinking, can I keep running till I'm 78? I sure hope so. So to help fight those voices, there's some things I think you can do. Obviously, there's the mental mantras like I'm a strong and healthy runner. But I think a big thing is to try and change your expectations. Recognize as you get older, you're going to slow down, you're going to be slower. Don't be too concerned about setting a new PR, new personal record. It's going to be tougher as you get older. So change your expectations. One thing that I've done, and I think may be helpful to you, is make my running more about the experience and less about the results. So when I go out and do a run, I enjoy the outside, I enjoy the sun or whatever the weather's like. I enjoy the race experience. I don't care how long it takes me or where I finish. I just want to enjoy the experience. So look for experiences more so than looking for a result. And another thing I think that can help you is always have a goal out there, whether it's a race or setting a new distance. Have that goal out there, but recognize that less is often more. By that I mean, don't think maybe you can't do 6 races next year. Maybe 4 is a better number as you get older. So be cognizant of that, but have that goal out there. Focus on the experience, less about the results, and that little head games, that little self-talk will be a lot less onerous to you. So I do love all those comments, those people you are well in your 70s, even your early 80s are out there running. I love to hear from you. You inspire me. Keep it up. Keep running. Keep commenting. I love that. There's no reason why we can't running for as long as we want. Just follow a few of these tips I give you. Cater them towards you. Your body's different than my body. So decide how much rest you need, how much strength training you need, how much protein you need. Think about those things for you. Keep those things up. And there's no reason why we all can't be running until we're late 70s, early 80s, or however long we live. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, scroll down and hit that like icon. And if you're new here, I'd love to have you stick around. Please hit that subscribe button also. Thanks again and happy running.